What is up? What is up? What is up? This is your boy Aviator Q, guys. We're gonna talk about a theme here, right? And I'm a little heated about this topic. But we're gonna talk about it because it's important, right? It's divided into three segments, four segments and a closing, right? So intro, four segments, and a closing. But we're gonna go through the whole thing real quick. And so we're gonna talk, I guess faith and focus. This episode's title is Leadership Under Pressure. So I just want to say what's up, everyone. It's your boy Aviator Q. Welcome back to Faith and Focus. I am Aviator Q. And tonight we're talking about something close to the heart of every warrior, every service member, and every leader who's carried the weight of command. And the importance of leadership awareness and the danger of accepting overperformance as normal. You see, in the military, excellence is expected. But sometimes excellence becomes exploitations when leaders fail to recognize the human cost behind the mission. In every formation, every staff section, there are men and women giving everything they've got. Not just 100%, but 120% or greater day after day, year after year. They're the ones staying late, rewriting the tasker, fixing the product, catching the details others miss. They don't complain, they just perform. But here's the issue. When that level of effort becomes expected and not appreciated, we're walking into dangerous territory. Because people can't operate in overdrive forever. Even the strongest engine burns out without maintenance. Scripture says in Galatians 6:9, "Let us not grow weary in doing good, for in due season we will reap if we do not give up." That verse isn't permission to abuse effort. It's a reminder that weariness is real, and leaders must guard their people's endurance. In leadership, personalities vary. You have all the motivators, the micromanagers. Let me correct myself. You have the motivators, the micromanagers, the visionaries, and the silent tacticians. But too often, the ones in charge forget that people aren't machines. Not everyone is driven by the same fuel. Not everyone can read between the lines of vague direction. There's a dangerous trend in modern leadership that you should know what I mean style. It's the kind of guidance where intent is spoken but never clarified in writing, never followed up with specific. And what happens? Staff begins to execute by assumption. Tasks get misaligned and effort gets wasted and morale drops. Clear guidance isn't micromanagement, it's respect. Proverbs 29:18 says, "Where there is no vision, the people perish." That's not just scripture, that's leadership doctrine. The inference of intent is not the same as being given intent. So how do we address this professionally, respectfully, and effectively? Because as much as we feel the frustration, we also wear the uniform. And with that comes bearing, chain of command, and decorum. Here is how a professional handles it. Number one, maintain bearing. Emotional control is key. Address issues privately, calmly, and factually, never in anger. Use the chain of command properly. Don't bypass or gossip. Document concerns, present them respectfully, and give leadership the opportunity to respond. Focus on the mission. Number three, focus on the mission. When you highlight burnout or inefficiency, frame it around readiness, not resentment. And number four, model what right looks like. If leadership lacks awareness, set the example. Communicate clearly, recognize your peers, and mentor up as much as you mentor down. Professionalism doesn't mean silence. It means discipline in speech, courage in truth, and integrity in motive. So now, from a faith standpoint, leadership is never about status. It's about service. Jesus himself said in Mark 10:45, "For even the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve." When we forget that truth, when we expect people to give endlessly without gratitude or rest, we drift from servant leadership into selfish leadership, and that's where morale dies. The Christian leader recognizes effort, protects the weary, and invests in people before productivity. Because long after the mission is over, the people are who remain. So here's a challenge tonight for every leader listening. In uniform or out, when was the last time you looked at your team in the eye and said, "I see you and I appreciate you"? For every exhausted staff member, don't lose heart. Your effort is seen by more than your chain of command. God sees it. He honors faithfulness even when people don't. But don't confuse loyalty with silence. Speak truth with respect, lead with courage, because the mission is only sustainable when the people carrying it are healthy. So some of you might be thinking about, what about when staff members are afraid to give the boss bad news? Yeah, that fear is real. But it doesn't come from weakness, it comes from experience. So when the staff repeatedly sees leaders react with frustration, sarcasm, punishment whenever results fall short, a message gets sent: don't bring me problems, bring me solutions. And that's fine in theory, but in practice, it discourages honesty and creates echo chambers. Before long, people stop reporting issues until they're catastrophic. The command climate becomes one where everything looks good on paper, even when it's falling apart in reality. So yes, it's truthful and it's dangerous. So why does this happen? It's the fear of perception. Sometimes staff worry they're going to be labeled as incompetent, negative, or not a team player. And that's especially common in commands where leaders value optics over candor. Then you got poor emotional intelligence in leadership. Some leaders take every issue personally. They hear feedback as criticism, not data. That kills trust. You have a culture of consequences versus a culture of correction. If mistakes are always punished rather than learned from, people will hide from them. It's a survival mechanism, not disloyalty. You get burnout and apathy. When overworked staff see their feedback ignored, they eventually stop caring enough to raise it again. Silence then becomes self-protection. From a professional standpoint, truth to power must be delivered with bearing, tact, and timing, but it must still be delivered. With bearing, you maintain your composure, respect, even when the news isn't good. Don't confuse emotion with conviction. Number 2, timing. Choose the right moment. Sometimes you can't have a private, framed around the mission conversation, but try to achieve that, a private, calm, and framed around the mission type of conversation. Sir, ma'am, I have an operational concern that could affect readiness if unaddressed, if that's the case. Decorum. You never ambush a leader in front of the peers. Bring facts, not feelings. Here's what's happening. Here's the impact. Here's my recommended solution. Documentation. Keep a professional record. Not to weaponize it, but to maintain accountability. The Army, even, and pretty much every branch, encourages speaking truth to power, but it expects it to be respectful and data driven. That is part of moral courage, a key leadership trait often overlooked. From a faith lens, silence in the face of wrong or dysfunction isn't loyalty, it's neglect. Proverbs 27:6 says, "Faithful are the wounds of a friend, but deceitful are the kisses of an enemy." That means sometimes the most faithful act is correction, even when it's uncomfortable. Nathan had to confront King David. Esther had to speak to the king. Daniel had to interpret truth before rulers. Each showed courage, not rebellion. The key is motive. If you bring truth to leadership because you love the mission, the people, and even the leader, then your honesty honors both God and the uniform. So remember, my talking points are simple, man. The cost of silence in the chain of command, how leaders unintentionally build fear, how staff can speak truth professionally, how faith calls for courage paired with humility. Honesty doesn't break a chain of command, it strengthens it. Because loyalty without truth isn't loyalty, it's a quiet collapse. And in the end, every great leader would rather hear a hard truth today than face disaster tomorrow. I mean, I get it. And people's livelihoods are sometimes held in the hands of the very people they have to disappoint with news not to their liking. And it sucks. It sucks. But we owe our leadership the truth at all times. I'm lucky enough to work in an organization where truth is encouraged. And in those rare instances where, people get questioned, like, your reputation has to precede you. And if in your entire time you're known for working hard, running down every problem set, looking for solutions, working with other staff members, going laterally, sideways, up, down the chain of command, or with at different echelons in order to achieve the commander's intent. When you go to your commander and say, hey boss, this isn't going to happen without you stepping in to help. Or the regulation says, no, there is no alternative because we've researched this. I've gotten the lawyers involved. I've gotten everyone, and they're saying no. I mean, at that point, you've done everything you possibly could. Now, if the leader takes that and thinks immediately that you haven't done the research or you're inept for whatever reason, man, that's on the leader, and good luck. Good luck in the future, because once the army's done, once the military is done, you got to live your life. And if that perception or that kind of mindset paradigm isn't shifted by the time you retire, you're going to have a tough life in the civilian sector. And that's just the honest truth. Most of the leaders that I know at echelons that I'm working with and hire have never held a real job outside of the military. And I say real because the military is more of a profession, not a job, right? Like, I mean, an actual civilian employee job. And in the military, you're taught, hey, the higher rank you go, not necessarily the more privileges you have, but the more responsibilities you have, and also people will work for you, But all of that is for naught if you don't learn to acknowledge, respect, as much as admonishment happens, as much as correction happens, there should be also praise coming out of your mouth. And I hope that as a leader, I've done that for my folks. I hope that I've been there and I've been able to listen, correct, admonish, lift up, encourage those that I've worked for as a leader, that I've been able to serve, not just vocally, but literally getting out there and doing things with my bare hands while making decisions. Now, while I'll never be the commander of a division, a corps, a COCOM, or anything like that, because it's just not in my deck of cards to be that. With my job, I have been a detachment commander in the past. And as I was preparing this today, I thought to myself, am I toxic? Was I a good leader? Do I continue to lead, at least within my section, in that way? I have a current leader of mine who I respect and admire tremendously, and he's retiring, and it sucks. Good people get out because they get burnt out. And that's just what it is. I mean, you're talking about individuals that have served in multiple wars, that have went through everything, but when they look at the current status quo and they say, man, you know what? I've served 29 years, 30 years, and I'm getting out. I don't like what's happening. I don't like what's been happening. I don't like leadership. I don't like, people leave and they continue their lives. The Army doesn't own you forever. The Air Force doesn't own you forever. And if you've given your all, take these words, to heart. Be truthful, be respectful, show decorum, maintain your military bearing. Emotional responses are not going to gain favor or gain you favor. You have to be detailed in your presentation of problem sets and be honest. Anyway, that's enough of that. This is your boy Aviator Q. We're going to go ahead and kick off some of this gaming. I hope I didn't bore you to death. Let's go. That was kind of sick.
Get a UAV on grid. Establish ARP on station. Recon above. Requesting CUAV above. TACOM, I need eyes overhead.
Oh, you suck. I'm a little slow right now.
Eyes on Semtex.
Enemy UAV inbound.
Pack destroyed.
Your suspect has been destroyed.
Get a UAV on grid.
Grenade coming in. Enemy on fire. Ready that shot.
TACOM, I need eyes overhead.
little slow.
Fucking sticky. System Have eyes on.
Crimson's on their heels. Hit 'em hard.
Ah, that sucks.
Scout pulses online. Moving with Archangel.
TACOM, get a UAV in the air.
Destroyed one of your assault packs.
SAM turret is online.
Yep.
Hang on. Let me call
10-10. Let's go.
Damn right. Mess with the diggers, get your ass buried.
There we go. You know, potentially I'm working up to things. Yeah, you know, and the reason I brought all that up is because, you know, you hear stories, you hear frustrated individuals talking, you know, and it's just important, right? Like I have a lot more to I have a lot more personal things to say, but that's only gonna happen once I retire, you know. And the individuals, I'm gonna change all names, you know. But if you know me, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Because, like, there has to be accountability for people. That's all I'm saying. There has to be accountability for people that yeah, I don't know. Otherwise, what's the point? You know, if you go through life, if you're going through life expecting people to do stuff for you, because, you know, it's how the military works. Yeah, of course, that's the responsibility. You got to do it. But if you're expecting people to work 150% all the time, you're burning people out. Like, no one should be inferring what it is a leader actually means to say. That's all I'm gonna say, right? Like, we owe it to our subordinates to give clear, concise directions, intent. And then staff, you know, staff also has to you know, understand that when your boss is just talking to talk, that doesn't mean that everything that comes out of their mouth is something they want you to action. Sometimes they, you know, do the boss a favor. Ask the boss directly, hey sir, hey man, is this what you meant? Is this what you want me to do? Give me, you know, clear it up. Don't be afraid to ask those questions. Like, I work for a boss right now that's phenomenal. Like, you know, if I ask a question, hey sir, what is it exactly that you're asking for? Because I'm confused. I'm sorry that I'm confused. I don't have the entire story. What is it exactly? Man, that dude, you know, shares exactly what he wants. It's not hard. Don't be afraid to ask the boss for clear guidance. We do it all the time here. Like, now granted, that's just my circumstance. But if you have a boss that gets mad when you ask for clear guidance, man, turn that mofo in respectfully. I don't know what to tell you. Like, there's processes in place. There's Speak truth to courage.
We've taken the lead. Stay on task. Daily authorizing UAV mission.
Oh, that's garbage.
We claimed the advantage.
That's
now
cool.
hold it. Give me eyes in the sky.
Oh, shot it.
TACOM, I need eyes.
Task counter UAV above.
Oh, dude, you're so lucky. You're sitting there.
TACOM requesting recon over. TACOM, Bailey requesting CUAV. Give me eyes in the sky.
See this.
Enemy CUAV inbound.
Oh, I shot him. I know I shot him.
Gray authorizing UAV mission. Hostile UAV established overhead. mission.
Ah. Okay. You're owning it.
They're about to break. Give them enough.
I just gotta focus on what I'm doing.
Authorizing CUAV ECM mission. TACOM, requesting recon overhead.
Well, they're on the other side. Oh, I was scratching my ear. That happens.
Stand down.
1116, terrible. You know, for not knowing that map, I thought I did pretty good. Yo, Busta. There's no talent. Like, you know, like that's no talent, man. Like I hear you, man, but like, come on. Look at the foot soldier. It was 22:10. I'm about to go to bed. Let's see. Level 25. Level 30. Yeah. I'm really trying to work that. Like, it's slow. I want to stack. Oh, snap. I have battle passes. I don't think we should have to purchase the battle pass. I said it. We bought the game. You buy the game. If you buy the game, you should get battle pass included. If you're just playing Warzone, then buy the battle pass. Simple. You know, you're going to have more people buy the game. Just tossing that out there. Yeah, let's do team deathmatch. I like that. What do you guys think? Anyway, I hope if anybody watches, you understand my heart in that. You know, you gotta help your leadership out, but at the same time, leadership we're responsible too. I mean, motive. I used to say that the military pays me to tell the truth. And you know, there are moments where you gotta rip the band-aid off. But how did I miss those shots? That's just terrible. Are you ever here sniping, my guy?
The lead is on.
Got it. Got it. I see you.
Deliver care package on my location.
I see you. See you.
Hostiles reclaim the lead.
That's crazy.
We're winning.
Looks like I got a kill, man.
We've given up the lead.
What?
Hey, dumbass. TACOM, authorizing care package drop.
Where did they? Where was he? Oh. I am not doing very well.
Designating course for LDBR.
Hate that flinch. Dude, Lee, you are something else, my guy. What is that? Sanchez. These are everywhere.
Falling behind, Crimson.
Shot him in the face. It's crazy.
They're walking all over you. Have some goddamn pride.
I had to wake up. I had to change the way I fought, man. I was last.
Get down.
Camper. He's a camper. Alright, that's gonna do it for me, guys. It's your boy